Okay.
Yeah.
Turns out it's Perak. Okay.
Yeah.
Must be fun. Okay.
And not fun that much because actually, like, I was staying in City Skandar,
Oh, okay.
so it's like empty place.
Yeah, it is quite
Yeah.
empty. All
Yeah.
right. It's okay. Good for you. Time for you to learn to brush up on your BM and your Perak bahasa. I don't know what you call it. You can't hear me, Pingma. I don't know what to do. You can try to switch to log on back again. All right.
Mm.
Okay. Now, okay, Pingma, try to log out and log in again. Okay. If not possible, I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you with the sound. Maybe something wrong with the speaker. In the last class, we talked about the historical development of the media, specifically focusing on the internet. Okay, why do we go straight to the internet? Because like you experience now, the internet has changed almost everything. Okay, but for your generation, the young internet generation, you probably were born into the internet. What this means is that you automatically know how to use the internet, isn't it, right? You automatically know how to go into the World Wide Web and search for things. Okay, so this is what we mean by the internet generation. So you were not able to experience the differences in media, okay, consumption before and after the internet. Because the media used to be very different. Okay, and even the internet that we are using today is very different, and the changes that on with the internet is very rapid, very fast. Okay, we may not notice it, okay, but Google changes its what we call it, operations and design every day, not every week or every year, but every day. Okay, and they don't announce these changes, you just experience the changes. Okay, so why is this the case? So this is what we're going to learn, okay, in this last week, this week, and next week, the transitions of the internet. So maybe that after we have learned these what we call it, these changes, then you can better understand your own experience. In the last class, we talk about the history of the internet. Okay, the internet was created for the purpose of what? What was the earliest purpose?
Military.
Yes, very good, Zaid. Okay, for military, not entertainment. Okay, and like I said, okay, most media, most broadcast media, okay, mass media was invented for military purposes. Okay, why was it the military? What is it that the military wants with the media? To protect what? To get what? What is the key?
Information.
Yes, Sisoho, for information. So that's why we relate media to communication. Media is just the medium that we use to transmit the most important thing, which is information. Alright? So the internet is actually a medium. But unlike television where you see a box, or unlike a radio, also another box, or a book or a magazine, it's hard for you to look and touch the internet. Okay? Because the internet is just not just a medium, it is also a mode of transmission. Okay? Yes, you have your laptop, you have your smartphone, you have your desktop. Okay, those are medium as well. Okay? The medium that stores and the medium that transmits are two things. Can you follow? Alright? Okay, so the internet in itself is a technology that is constantly changing. It used to be the internet shares the telephone technology. You know, the telephone, they transmit via vibration, the sound, via vibration through wires. Okay, that's why we used to have the telephone wire near our house. Now we no longer have that. Okay, because why? Because the technology has changed, we no longer use wire. what do we use? Okay, we use microwave technology, we use infrared technology, which are somewhat invisible. Okay, and now we use fiber optics wire. We no longer use wire. It used to be copper wire, you know, the ones you can touch. But now it's fiber optic. Your fiber optic is very, very fine and very thin. And they are usually underground. Okay, it used to be above, right, the wires, but now fiber optic underground. That's why sometimes if there is like underwater earthquake, you get internet disruption. Because the fiber optic under there was affected. And as you can see nowadays, a lot of construction, okay, it revolves around trying to dig, okay, to dig because they need to put the wire down there. Okay, you know how thin is the fiber optic, right? It's so thin that we cannot see with our naked eye. Okay, it's so thin, like what? Like Ismail, okay, like when we want to go to, okay, you know, like they say, when you cut your hair into 7 to cross the hell and go to heaven. Have you heard that? Cut your hair into 7, that thin, you cannot see, probably fiber optic that thin. I don't know, maybe, okay, this is my scientific discovery, right? Okay, so, but although it is very thin, it is able to transmit a lot of data.
Madam, there is one outside, like he can't log in. So can you approve it?
Sorry?
There is someone outside and they're trying to log in. So can you approve it?
But I don't get any prompt saying me to allow anyone in.
Okay, it was Aziz. I think he got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, Aziz. Welcome, Aziz. Okay. So as I was saying, okay. So here, why am I talking about wire and we're talking about fiber optics? We're talking about the changes in the technology, but they are both internet technologies. And we are trying to say that why the internet you experience today is different from the internet back then. The internet in the 1990s was so frustrating. Okay, why is it frustrating? Because you have to connect. All of you have no experience of connecting through a modem. Okay, maybe you can YouTube and see how people used to connect to the internet. We need to dial up the modem and then the connection shares with the phone line. So when you're using the internet, your phone line is not working as well. Okay, when you're using the phone, your connection to the internet is slow. So what's the problem? Then people become very frustrated. They don't want to use the internet. Can you understand? There's no added advantage. Okay. On the other hand, when the technology has changed, okay, they started to use fiber optic. That means what? Transmission much faster. No longer are people sharing the telephone line. The data becomes much faster, and the experience become more satisfying. Okay, so I'm just trying to say to you, because after this we're looking at how we experience the internet. But before that, we must understand what happens, okay, on the other part of the internet, which is the technology. Okay, so the technology was so slow then. You want to download image, you want to download film, you have to wait 7-8 hours for the film to finish downloading, then only you can play. Not like right now, you stream straight away. Okay, so that's why, okay, if you don't have the patience, you don't want to use the internet. Okay, the same thing here. So that is why today we call the internet the information superhighway. Have you heard the term of information superhighway? Okay. It used to be the internet is just like probably just a road. But now it's a superhighway. You know what's a road, right? One road, then one car can go. And then it's very slow. Okay. And then there is slow, and then one way some more, just like in UIA, very slow. You want to turn the whole campus. Okay. So then it's the same, expression. You can compare it with the information trying to move within this small road using the copper wire. Okay, but the technology changed. You have fiber optic, now it becomes a super highway. Instead of a 1-lane road, you have 5-lane super highway. Can you imagine 5-lane super highway? How fast you can go? All right, so the transmission become faster, experience become better. So you imagine the amount of information that can transmit via this one-way road and the amount of information that can, move in this 5-lane superhighway. Okay, a lot, right? A lot of the difference. Okay, but then maybe you can ask, oh madam, if internet is information superhighway, how come the internet in UIA is still slow? Internet UIA also Wi-Fi, fiber optic.
Sure, I think it's copper, madam.
Not copper wire anymore. Don't be so mean. Okay, how can you underestimate your own university like that?
No, I'm not underestimating the university by considering facts.
No, madam, somehow it's true because sometimes if I use the UI internet, for 5 minutes I get internet, after 10 minutes the internet is gone. So maybe it's true, copper wire.
No, it's not the wire. It's something wrong with the highway. Maybe the highway got potholes. And if there's highway, I think in UIA, even in a highway, there will still be traffic jam. You imagine how many cars in that highway and all crazy drivers like all of you on that highway. Okay, you have all trying to speed in a 5-lane superhighways and crazy drivers all banging one another. It's the same thing. All right, so it's not just you are the problem, sometimes you are the problem. See, so for not driving safely. Okay, so point is that, all right, yes, okay, information is faster, but people also use it differently now. All right, and I bet you on your laptop, your tab, how many? 20 tabs open at the same time. And you're downloading.
Yes.
How many films are you downloading at one time? So no superhighway can help you with that. All right, unless you buy your own system and bring to the campus. Okay, but of course, I'm not denying the UIA must have better facilities. All right, because if we don't have good internet, we cannot compete. Okay, all right, so that is it. Just talking about how the internet has changed. Okay, the old one very slow. The ones you have now is faster. And next year is going to be even faster when Malaysia starts to incorporate 5G. Okay, 5th generation, even faster. Okay, what does it mean? How fast is it? It is downloading in split second. That means less than a second. All right, before you can blink your eye, everything's done. Okay, that's how fast your life is. Okay, you know what happens, right? After you live very fast, you die also very fast. Okay, so you be careful, right? Okay, Ismail, right? So don't be so happy with that fast internet, right? Okay, going back to that. So why do we need to look at these changes? Web 1.0, we discussed last week. Okay, it did bring a lot of change. It did affect the media. Okay, because it brought different changes in the device, in the experience. But again, it was not good enough. Remember, I said that by the early 2000, okay, the whole industry, the internet industry, experienced the .com crash. What is that .com crash? Who can remember? Okay, .com crash.
Where Amazon and eBay are bankrupt?
Yes, when all of the small businesses went bankrupt. Okay, crash. Okay, at first in the early 90s, everybody, towards the late 90s, everyone was talking about the internet, right? And then we said the internet practically killed music industry, film industry, TV industry. But how come the whole industry itself then turns out to be unsuccessful, bankrupt? Because they were too, obsessed or confined with their fascination of the industry without realizing the capacity of the industry. They just feel, wow, internet is so good, let's put a lot of money here. Okay, and they spend a lot of money, but when they spend a lot of money, they did not get enough return. Okay, this is why they experience bankruptcy. Okay, so why? Here we are going to cover with Internet 2.0. So the problem was, okay, like I said in the last class, they didn't truly understand, okay, how to use the internet, what the internet is really. Because they saw internet just like a traditional medium, just a medium you use to get from point A to point B. Can you follow? Like media, right? Like television. You have the producer, produce content, audience. That is traditional media. Can you follow? Okay, the logic of traditional media. Newspapers, publisher, journalist. Newspaper is the media, reach the audience. And they used to think the internet is the same way. Okay, you have what we call it, an online internet store, okay, bookstore. You have the owner, put the book and sell to the people. But the internet is not that. Okay, internet is more than that. Okay, the experience is different because when you want to buy a book online, okay, why do you buy a book online today? Because you get a lot of information, isn't it, right? Because it's much easier and much faster. Because they use the new logic. The old logic was just seeing internet like a typical old store. Put the book there, you expect people to buy. Okay, people won't buy because it's better that they go to the physical bookstore when they can touch and see the book. Alright? So here, Web 2.0, they say, okay, we failed. Okay, Web 1.0. We failed, we do not know how the internet works, we weren't able to satisfy the people, the public, the audience. Okay, so we must understand how the internet actually works. So they say, okay, the internet is different because with internet, we need to emphasize the users. This is one of the main difference. We used to call those who consume media audience. Now we call them users. Can you see the main difference? Audiences do what? They receive. Okay, they consume. But they hardly get to give it feedback. But now, we must see audiences as users. They don't just get information, they do something about the information and they can even produce information. Okay? So this idea of Web 2.0, okay? That's why you have 1.0, 2.0. It's not really a change, but it's really what we call it, a change in paradigm. They have updates. They say the internet have updated itself. Okay? So it suggests, okay, 2.0. This term was popularized by Tim O'Reilly and Dale Doherty at the Media Web 2.0 conference in 2004. So we can say, okay, that the internet changed from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0 around that year in 2004. Okay? Some people consider Web 2.0 as social media. Okay? Web 1.0, readable media. You see the difference? Audience, user. Readable media, social media. Readable means what? You can only read and consume. Social means what? You interact. Okay? So it suggests a new version of the World Wide Web. It does not refer to any update to any technical specification, but to cumulative changes in the way web pages are made and used. Okay? Like I said just now, there's no physical development. There's no technical change. It's really about understanding how the media work. Okay? It allows users to interact and collaborate with each other on the social media dialogue as creators of user-generated content in a virtual community. Okay? In contrast to websites where people are limited to passive viewing of content, examples of Web 2.0 included social networking sites, blogs, Foxonomies, video sharing sites, and many others. You get this idea? All right. What do we mean here now? It used to be eBay, like we said. They failed. Why? Because they see just like the media is the internet, just like a traditional store. They put the books and hope people buy. But when you look at eBay now, eBay is not just a bookstore. What is eBay? eBay is also a social networking site. Okay, now it used to be eBay the company will get the stock, the books, they keep the stock and hope people will buy the book. Okay, but now who sells on eBay? Who sells on eBay? Can you sell on eBay?
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone can sell.
Yeah, okay.
So you imagine how many books can eBay sell if they hold the stock? The most they say probably they can sell 10,000 books. But imagine if everyone can sell books, how many books can be sold? Unlimited. Can you see the differences here? Okay, that what it means here that eBay or all internet businesses must not see themselves as just a medium, but see themselves as what we call as platform. All right, this is basically the web as platform. Okay, you don't see yourself as just a website, but you see yourself as a platform. What do we mean by a platform? What eBay does is actually provide a platform for everyone to come sell books and buy books together. Can you follow? All right. So instead of one bookseller, you have millions of booksellers. That's why you can get the books that you cannot get at the bookstore. Understand? And more than that, you can get thousands of options of the same book. If you go to the bookstore, you only get one version. If it's 59 ringgit, it's going to be 59 ringgit. But on eBay, you can get from 5 ringgit to 500 ringgit. Why? Because you have different versions of the same book. Second hand, first hand, third hand. Can you follow? So there's a change in the experience. So before you buy a book, what do you consider when you want to buy online? What do you look at? Don't know, because that's not a book, it's online.
Trusted seller.
Then you look at whether the person is a trusted seller. How can a seller become trusted?
Reviews, comments.
High sellings and like
She managed to sell a
reviews.
lot. Something like that.
Comments to sales, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so who gives the comments? Who gives the review? Who gives the star rate?
The customer?
Customers.
Yeah.
eBay does not have to do the work. eBay does not have to go and say, oh, Izzati cannot trust this one because does not sell, or Ismail can. They do not have to do that. Who will do it? The users, the other buyers, those who have experience. Can you see the difference now? That the internet, that eBay must understand they cannot use the old traditional way. They must now become a platform. Okay? They cannot be in control. The old traditional producer. Who is the producer now? The users? Everyone. Who's the audiences? Everyone also. And how does the communication process occur? All the time. Not like TV producer, TV audience. One way. Okay. So first they say, oh, we cannot see internet like the old way. Internet, Web 2.0, the websites are like platforms. They are not just readable and static. It must continuously change. But where do we get the content? from the users. Okay, right? So can you compare Amazon in the old days and Amazon today? What does Amazon sell? What do they sell? What does it sell, Amazon?
Many things,
Electronics, a
Everything.
lot of stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Amazon is the biggest store on earth. There's nothing you cannot buy. You can buy people also there. You try. Okay? How come it can sell almost everything? Because everyone is selling. Can you get what I'm saying or not? Alright? If you want to buy the most unique dress, traditional red dress, you cannot find it at the mall, but you can definitely find it in Amazon. Because who is selling it? Some unique person somewhere in a remote country. Okay? So what? Amazon is a platform. Amazon does not sell the dress. They do not sell the stuff. What do? They just create a platform for the seller and the buyer. Can you understand? So this changes your paradigm, right? Now you can see how the internet works. And this is important when you are working in the industry, that you see beyond, okay, what is on the surface. You see what actually works and how it works. Okay, can you follow or not? Okay, web as a platform. This is the most important thing. Now you can see that almost everything on the website now, web page online, is a platform. Name one thing. YouTube. Is YouTube a website or a web platform? It's a social, okay? It's a video sharing site. When it is sharing, it is platform. How can YouTube, how many videos are there on YouTube? Who knows? How many videos are there on YouTube?
A lot.
A lot. Okay? You can't put a number because it's continuously increasing. Every second there's a new video. Okay? I read somewhere that you can try to finish, but you cannot finish. That it would at least 30 years of not sleeping or if not doing anything. But of course it will not finish because more people will add in videos. Can YouTube or any company in the world compete with that amount of content? Cannot. Can you follow or not? All right? Because the videos are coming from millions of different users and producers. So YouTube can satisfy everyone's different needs. Okay? What else? Is Google a platform? Google itself, the search engine. Is it a platform?
Yes.
Yes. Because it's not the one producing all those websites. And it doesn't have anyone, okay? Google does not have anyone sitting down trying to identify which new website has been developed. They don't do that. The website themselves register themselves to Google. Okay. And you can see to even the most modern or recent developments like TikTok, what else? Even Spotify, traditional radio, online radio. They just put the radio available online. You get what I'm saying? It's just the same radio that you listen in the car, but they put it online, the internet platform. That's the old way, the boring way, and it's not successful. But now, if you understand that the internet is a platform, that you have things like Spotify. So who's providing the music in Spotify? Spotify is also a sharing site. Okay, that you can listen to an English, an American pop song, Korean song, or you can listen to some Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan song, Tanzania, Nigeria, whatever song you want to listen to, it's there. Okay. So I think it's very clear, web as platform. Okay, they give example here, Netscape versus Google. Okay, Netscape is the old search engine. Okay, it is the way you have to search, it is like a directory. Okay, you people have never seen a yellow book. Have you seen a yellow book, or have you heard of a yellow telephone book?
Yes.
Okay, maybe okay, in the museum, okay, or you can Google them. It used to be you want to search for people's number, you look at the book. It's the same thing with the old way of trying to find websites. They put it in a directory, they list them up. But with Google, Google is an intelligent search engine. Okay? Or DoubleClick versus Overture and AdSense. The way they use traditional advertisements. Okay? How to advertise online in the old days? You have to pay. Okay, you pay 200 ringgit and to a particular website, hopefully they will put your banner. But what happens when you put your banner on a website? Will audiences look at them? What do you do to banners usually? You cancel them out, right? Okay, so that is not a smart way. So Google introduces what? AdSense. Okay, where the what we call it, advertisements is advertised on sites or blogs that are related to the content. That means if you are selling banana juice, your advertisement will appear on a banana website. Okay, why? Then it will be catered to an audience that will be interested in the product. And most of the time, you see that the advertisement is not in terms of pop-up banner. The advertisement is in the article. Okay, or on your search engines, you do notice whatever you Google, that the top 5 at least would be all advertisements. But they don't look like advertisements. Okay. Akamai and BitTorrent. Okay, this is how they save also in the old days. Okay, they use the same, okay, Akamai and BitTorrent, but now we have changed. Because all of these now, everything is what we consider as platform. Right? 2. Now we already get the idea platform. Okay, eBay, Amazon, what else? Okay, yes, who have a question here? Marie? Yes, Marie. You raised your hand by accident. Do you have a question? Okay, never mind.
No, madam.
Yes. Yes, Marie. You just want to say hi, Marie?
No, madam. I just have a accident to touch it.
Oh,
Sorry.
accidentally touch it. Okay, all right. Never mind. Okay, be careful. Yeah, your what is the board? What do you call this? It's not a platform. Huh? Okay. So here, when we talk about first, the site has become a platform. So who's going to contribute? Okay. So they believe, okay, now owners of these platforms must take away some of the control. They must understand that they cannot control their businesses the way they used to. They cannot control their stock. They cannot control what is said about their products. They must what we call as harness collective intelligence. We must share information. Remember, right? We say the World Wide Web, everybody is linked. All the computers is linked. Information, it is supposed to be an information superhighway. Everybody gets access to information. So you cannot be applying control and try to limit connections. That's why it didn't work the first time. So the second time, you must understand that internet is about what? We must share information because information is the driver of the technology. So they start to what? To do what? Hyperlink. One information linked to another information. And they are even willing to link to other operations, other websites. What does linking means? Linking means is allow you to access more information. Okay? And collaboration. Who's collaborating? eBay is collaborating with the seller, collaborating with the user, and even collaborating with audiences that are not doing anything. Okay? You get what we mean, right? Collective intelligence, that whatever content or product within the particular site or platform, okay, is created together. You don't have one source of information like the old days. Okay? All of the information are coming from all over the place. Okay? Blogging and the wisdom of the crowds. Okay, who's the crowds? The public. Allow everybody to give information. Okay? Just like we mentioned just now, okay, in a platform, who's going to contribute? Users, audiences, okay? We give the example like Google. How can Google, okay, manage to save millions and millions of websites? Okay? How can they create that directory? Okay, they cannot pay 10,000 people to do it, cannot. But what they can do is allow millions of people to do it on their behalf. Understand? Collective intelligence. Okay, everybody contribute. Like what? Because people are the one who are contributing. That's why Google is growing really, really fast and really, really big. You are really helping them because you are the one giving the information. Okay, imagine the old ways. Okay, if Google, like I said, if you want to search for banana, okay, there is probably going to be 100 websites on bananas, but these 100 websites are produced, okay, or published by banana businesses. Very limited, right? Can you understand what I'm saying? But you imagine when they started to introduce blogs. Who is writing about banana? Who's writing about banana now?
People.
People, everybody. Amira, Aziz, Ismail, Izzati, Hani, Siti Fatima, Pigma, everybody's writing about banana. Can you imagine how much information about banana we can have now? Sometimes too much. That's why sometimes it has lead to fake news lah, misinformation lah. Why? Because everyone. Okay, and in that short time, we can know more about banana. Okay, why? You imagine, right? Okay, the old ways is what we call as taxonomy. That means we follow what people say about banana. All right, we have 10 people experts about banana and they create website. But that's limited information. Now, millions of people are writing. Okay, and then you talk about experience of banana in the Egypt. Okay, in Africa, they have a purple banana. In China, they have a green banana. We didn't know. But now the internet tells us. But who is really telling us? That someone in China. That someone in Egypt. Collective intelligence. So that is why now, okay, when you type banana, there's going to be billions of sites just about banana. But who is writing them? Not some scientists. It's just someone who likes to eat banana. And that information can be random information. You can have a scientist writing about scientific discovery about banana, or you can have, for example, Abbas just writing in his blog or in his Twitter, I ate a banana today. And that banana is sour. It's also an information. Okay? So it is the wisdom of the crowds. And this is now the basis. Okay, we let people contribute. What we do is we provide platform and then we harness collective intelligence. That's why Google can create what? Create Google Map. Okay? Can you imagine Google say, okay lah, we want to create a Google Map, but we need to employ 1,000 people to draw every part of the world. Can we do that? Cannot. Okay? So who contributed to Google Map? You did. Of course, satellite, yes. Satellite give information. Okay, but satellite cannot say, oh, this is Ismail's house. Ismail must, put his address. Because he wants to invite you to his wedding. So, okay, how to get people to come to my house? Okay, better put my address on Google Map and on Waze where people can find my house. So now, Ismail has helped map that part of his house. Can you follow what I'm saying? All right, so that is Google Map. So Google is not really that smart in mapping the whole world, but Google is smart enough to provide a platform where everyone can help them map the world. And once they have a map of the world, what did they create? And then they can create Waze. Okay? Waze. Waze is also what? Harnessing collective intelligence. How does it know there's going to be a policeman? How does it know there's going to be traffic? How does it know which alternative route to follow?
Using GPS.
GPS, yes.
Yeah, the GPS, locating the person, and they will track if there is like a jam for phones in the cars or the computers or softwares in general. So just to find that there is a jam in this place.
Yes. Okay, of course, the technology and the satellite, but also Waze is a social networking site. It is also harnessing intelligence because someone reported the jam. Someone reported there's a pothole in front. Someone said there's going to be a police in 5 kilometers. Someone. Okay? So harness collective intelligence. And then they also realize data is the most important thing. Okay, we have the platform. We have people contributing ideas. But what is it that people are contributing? They are contributing their data. Data information. When we talk about television, for example, right? Television developed, people focus on the technology itself. It used to be black and white. And the sound was not that good. And then they changed to color. And then they changed to HD. And then the sound, Dolby Digital, for example. So it's the same content, but better. But now, when we talk about internet, it's not really the content experience, it is the information, the amount of that data. Okay? That actually, when you go to a particular shopping, you will realize that the best shopping site is the one that gives most information. And the one that is best at managing their data. Oh, I like to go to shop here, okay, probably in Shopee. Why Shopee? Because Shopee has the best search and best categories. Okay? So do you realize the best internet experience is the ones that has best management of their data. That data is the key. It used to be, have you heard of the term Intel Inside? Intel Inside, probably, okay? Maybe you can Google them up also. What do we mean by Intel Inside? There's a brand, Intel is a brand of processor. Okay, so in the old days, okay, you want to identify between the authentic desktop with the fake desktop, you see whether it's Intel. Because Intel is supposed to give you the best processor. What do we mean by processor? That means you use your computer and it feels faster. All right? So traditionally they say, oh, the best internet is the best computer depends on the processor. So this is the old way, thinking like TV. Better color than black and white. Faster processor, slower processor. But with Web 2.8, they realized, hey, it's not that processor. It is the information, the data. That's why it is not Intel Inside that's important. It's what's the data inside is more important. If I can understand or not. Okay. So database management is a core competency of Web 2.0 companies. So much so that we have sometimes referred to these applications as infoware rather than software. But now it has turned into malware, and sometimes also very questionable in terms of privacy control. Okay, so control over the database has led market control and outsized financial returns. Okay, so what do we mean by that? It means that companies realize they can make more money if they manage data and get a lot of data. Why? Because data can give them a lot of information. Why is it Facebook more powerful? Okay, maybe not so popular now, but in early 2000 and for the past couple of years is the most powerful social media. Why is it that when Facebook came, it practically outdone the other social media platforms? Because they have the best data management. That once a person uses Facebook, automatically he feels like, hey, this is so much easier. And I can get access to more information here. And you notice how fast Facebook developed itself? It started out just like a typical social media. Then it branches out to business. Okay, why? Because of data. Because it starts to realize, oh, when people use Facebook, they don't just share about their information, they're talking about trying to sell product. So automatically, fast, okay, Facebook responded really fast and started to create Facebook business, where audiences, users can sell their products, and Facebook have already prepared them the card, everything to do business. All you need to do is just do your business on Facebook, remain on their platform. Can you understand? And the way they managed, okay, your data, for example, you sell something on Facebook, okay, you tend to be more profitable than not selling on Facebook. Why? Because Facebook helps you sell your product. They help to sell or advertise your products on their platform. Okay, can you follow or no? That means what? The amount of information they get helps them to make more money. Okay. All right. Just like Wikipedia, the #1 source for assignment. Okay. So Wikipedia, the largest encyclopedia in the world. You know the Britannica encyclopedia, very thick. You know, in the old days, okay, in the house, every house, most house will have an encyclopedia. Okay, you don't really read them, but it looks good at home. All right, and then you just feels more intelligent. Okay, it took them years to compile the information. Okay, but Wikipedia only a couple of years to already gather almost all the information you need. Okay, why? Because Wikipedia is a Web 2.0 product. What do we mean? Because it's not just a website. What is it? What is Wikipedia? Is it a website? It's not a website. What is it?
Platform.
Platform. Very smart. If you understand that, then you understand the whole changes. That Wikipedia is a platform. Wikipedia does not have authors, okay, or historians. Okay, but who writes for Wikipedia? Everyone. So they harness collective intelligence. But what Wikipedia does with all this information is they manage the database. Can you follow? Millions of people give information. What do? They manage the database. They own all of this massive information. And then they manage it into a way that it's easy for you, that you keep coming back. Why do you keep coming back to Wikipedia even when your lecturers say don't go Wikipedia? Because it's easy. It's fast and you think it has everything. That is what? That is database management. Okay?
Madam.
Yeah.
How about the credibility of the source of the item inside Wikipedia?
Of course, credibility is another question. That's why your lecturer say cannot use Wikipedia because we don't know who wrote. Okay? But
Okay.
again, when we talk about user experience, you still like to go there because it's so much easier. And then Wikipedia gets a lot of what we call it access, and they can get a lot of money. So I'm talking here about Wikipedia managing the data. Okay. So far, all right?
Okay.
Okay. So here, now, okay, we see everything is a platform. They harness intelligence, and then they manage database. And then they also, the new business must be continuous. And they ended what we call as the software release cycle. Okay. In the old days also, for example, when we use Microsoft Office, you know what happens? Microsoft Office 1, Microsoft Office 2, and then they go to Microsoft Outlook, and then there's so many other types of Microsoft. What happens is every new development, users have to buy a new one, or they have to renew a license. Can you get? Okay? You have to renew the license, so there's a cycle. Microsoft 1.0, oh, not good enough. They created a new one, Microsoft 2.0. But to transition, user must buy a new one. Okay, so this is what also the old ways. All right. Okay, very frustrating for the users because they need to buy. Although this is a good way for the business to make money. Okay, but with Web 2.0, do you realize there's no Google 1.0, Google 2.0? Do you notice? Do Google say, okay, please do not use Google today. We have what we call it, updating today. Tomorrow you get Google 2.0. Don't have, right? Or YouTube. You want better experience, okay? You wait 2 weeks. We will develop and introduce you YouTube 2.5. Do you have that? No, this is not like hardware. This is not like your Apple phone. You know what happens, right? Apple, your iPhone 1 now already iPhone 21. iPhone how many already now? Okay, so it beats the logic, right? Why do I buy iPhone last year? Because next year is going to be a new one. Okay, what's the difference? Or there's some advancement in the new one, right? Okay, but actually the function is just the same. Okay, but with internet platforms, they realize, oh, we cannot do this. Okay, we cannot keep changing software cycles. Okay, because we are platforms. Okay, and we are dealing with vast number of information. If we keep changing cycle, okay, we cannot compete. All right, and people will become frustrated because we must realize that we are not dealing with audiences who buy. We are dealing with users who contribute information. Okay, so they say, okay, that when we already say that data is the what we call it just now, data is the intel inside, data is the core, then we must also say that the operations must be competent. Okay, that users be treated as co-developers. Okay, so Google, when they develop, who's helping them develop? It's not just their what we call it, software engineers. Okay, it's also people contributing the data and the information. Hold on, yeah. Hold on. All right. Okay. So as I was saying, okay. So now they say we must make sure to ensure that people stay at our platform. We must always update the experience that people continuously want to be here. Like why is it you always use Google? Because the search engine offers you the easiest experience, isn't it, right? They give you the best experience. That's why you didn't change to other search engine. That everybody stays with Google. because they keep giving you the best experience without asking you to download, upload, change settings, do this, do that. Has Google ever asked you to change settings? To do this and that? No, right? It's so easy to use it. Okay? So that is why, okay, they say its operations must be competent. And we must include the users as developers. Alright?
Madam,
Yes?
so what is the difference between the social media like WhatsApp and Instagram? So because each of the account we need to update in the Google Play Store or App Store. So is there any difference or because it is social media?
Instagram you need to update. WhatsApp you need to update. Okay, alright. But this update usually, even if it has to be done, it is done what we call it very what is that word? Seamless. It means like it's not in the old ways where, for example, when we talk about Microsoft Office, okay, to go from Microsoft Office 1 to Microsoft Office 2, you need to download using the CD and you have to do the work. And then you incur the cost. Okay, I'm pretty sure nowadays if we talk about Instagram or WhatsApp, what we call it, updates, it's just about pressing a button. And it doesn't really affect your experience. And if they are able to do the update without disrupting you, they will do it. Just like Google. Okay? And then, okay, they say the other rules that build Web 2.0 is lightweight programming models. What do we mean by lightweight programming models? Companies must understand, okay, that when they say harnessing collective intelligence, it's not just about the content, but everything else also, even the hardwares, softwares, and technologies. Okay? So here they think about, okay, when they design something, okay, when they design the algorithm for search engine, for example, they must allow, okay, and allow that to say that this algorithm is free in terms that everyone can have access to it. So that everyone can help develop it. So that's why they say that when they design, actually they design their system for hackability and remixability. What does it mean? It means it used to be, okay, that businesses, okay, or producers, they're very protective over their content. Very protective over the products, you know, the products. Oh, they came up with the idea of internet, or they came up with the idea of search engine. So they want to protect the idea so much. Okay? But when you protect your idea so much, you limit the idea to yourself. On the other hand, these businesses, they say, okay, I have built this YouTube, but I'm not going to make it very strict. It means the system is I will share the algorithm or things that could be shared so that other people can help build the system. Sometimes people can even hack into this system and they say, it's okay. That means you tell us this is the weakness of this system. Can you follow? So the programming is lightweight. This is what we mean by lightweight. That it is flexible. Okay, what do we mean by hackability? Okay, they know that their system, there's a weaknesses to their system. So sometimes you have seen that many times Google have been hacked without us realizing it. That hackers have changed the Google search design. Okay, they have played around with the, I don't know, probably the ranking of the websites, things like that. So these things are considered part of the development of the technology. Okay, and the same thing with remixability. Remix means what? It allows that others to contribute their ideas or expertise. So the innovation is in assembly. What do we mean by innovation is an assembly? It means that these businesses, Amazon, eBay, YouTube, Google, they all realize that what they have is not a finished product. It's always a work in progress. So the innovation is in the assembly. Innovation is how they continuously develop. Okay? Like YouTube, right? How is it YouTube becoming much more easier to search? Okay, providing you much more user satisfaction. Okay, because they allow these changes to occur all the time. Right? So that is what we mean by lightweight programming models. Okay? And they also realize, okay, now with Web 2.0 and the development of technology, everything software must be above the level of a single device. Okay, what do we mean by this? In the old ways, we use what? Desktop, laptop. You already download the software in the laptop, you cannot use it in other places. But now, all the content are available in all different devices. You can get access to your YouTube on laptop, desktop, phone, TV, anywhere. So this is what we mean by software above the level of a single device. That means whatever you produce must make sure it is available on all platforms. One other feature of Web 2.0 that deserves mention is the fact that it's no longer limited to the PC platform. Development of the web platform extends this idea to synthetic applications composed of services provided by multiple computers. Okay, iTunes is the best example of this principle. This application seamlessly reaches from the handheld device to a massive web backend, with the PC acting as a local cage and control situation. Now, you probably do not experience this, but this is the old days. If you download or use a certain content on PC, it will be in PC only. It is not cross-platform or cross-device. Okay, but now we have device convergence. And this we have to thank Steve Jobs. He's the one who first pioneered the idea of apps. Okay, and with iTunes, but of course he limited it to Mac. But iTunes, okay, was able to allow people to download music or songs on the MacBook, on the Mac PC, and not Mac PC, what do you call it? I don't know, whatever you call it, and also the iPhones. Understand or not? Okay, so this idea was then understood by everyone else, that Amazon must see itself more than just a software. That's why they create applications, right, that you can download, okay, on your phone. So easy to shop now. Just use your Shopee app. Okay? So what happens when you start to download apps? So it says then that all this content is already part of your everyday life. Okay? So far can understand, right? Software above the level of a single device. And this is also a sign for all media companies, that when you produce a song or a music, you must make sure that music can play in all devices. That when you produce a TV program, that this TV program can look nice on the phone. Okay? And most importantly also, all the content that you produce must create rich user experience. Not like the old ways of just text or image. Okay? Cannot use the old HTML. Okay? Now must use what? Whatever that is current and interesting. Everything today is video. Okay? Why? Because everything must be interactive today. Must create rich user experience. What do we mean by rich user experience? That every senses is stimulated. If you want to buy a dress online and it's just an image, probably just visual. Okay, but if you turn it into a video with some audio, okay, then other ear, okay, what we call it, your visual senses are stimulated. Okay, can. All right, so this is what we mean by rich user experience. Okay, this is the old way, XML lah, apa nama JavaScript, I'm not even sure what even that means, okay, but those are the old programming ways, okay, but today, okay, most of this programming has been made simple, that everyone, okay, even everyday people who with no background can create their own app, because they no longer need to learn the language. Nowadays, they don't longer use this, apa nama, HTML, they now use what we call it, Python, right? Python is the one you use to create apps. Okay, so this is the core competencies of Web 2.0 companies. Okay, this lecture is very simple, very straightforward. It's trying to show you the differences between Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. So what is this Web 2.0? A different way of looking at the World Wide Web that is changed from readable media to a social media. They don't see media as a traditional medium rather than interactive platform. Okay. So you see, once a paradigm is changed, the way they understand how to use internet has changed. Okay, they are better at making profit. That is why in less than 10 years, Google, Amazon, all are becoming the world's biggest companies. That Amazon has become the world's biggest shop, and that Wikipedia has become the world's biggest encyclopedia. Can you follow? Right? How did they become so big so fast? Because they realized, okay, that it is the service, okay, and that everything must, what call it? Oh, this is not it here, talking about this one first. Okay, that everything must be in terms of platforms. Okay, and for companies, okay, it is not the software, but it is, like I said just now, the competencies is in the operation, in the database management. Okay, and then companies must control, okay, data. This is what we mentioned just now. And they must trust users as co-developers. Okay, companies today must harness collective intelligence, leverage in the long tail through customer self-service, software above the level of a single device, lightweight users interfaces. So all of this I've already discussed just now in detail. Okay, so if you think about coming up with a business online, these are the requirements or the characteristics that you must look at. That all companies now must become a platform. Taxi companies. In the old ways, what is the taxi company trying to do online? Or they just say you can register online and then our taxi will come to you. But was that successful? No. Taxi cannot do that. Why? Because they cannot compete with Grab. Why? Because Grab is a platform. User generated. Who's the driver? Everybody's the driver. Who's giving information? Everybody's giving information. Can you see the difference? Okay, that when internet came, it changed the whole context of this business. Okay, the whole context of medium. Okay. All right. So any questions? So I think you can see already the differences, okay, the old technology and the new technology. Okay, and when we talk about Web 1.0 and Web 2.0, it's not really change in the physicals, okay, or the materials. It is really a change in the way they understood how the internet should work. All right, so that's it for today. Any questions?
Yes, Madam, I have a question.
Yes.
Madam, why every new platform comes out in the market is much easier, cheaper, inexpensive, and sometimes much attractive than the previous one, such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and recently TikTok. Basically, all the social media, they all appear in a very short time. So the question is it market competing or it is a capitalism game
All right.
trying to attract people?
Of course, all of it is a capitalism game. All of this is capitalism game, all right? Trying to make profit. But why is it at new platforms are usually much more interesting and easy to use? Okay, because like I said, right, all of it uses the same idea of database. Okay, they get a lot of information about people and they know what people want and they provide that. Okay, but you can also see that a lot of new platforms is, although it's easy to become attractive and viral and to get much follower at the start, it's really hard to maintain. Okay, it's really hard to stay popular. Okay, now later on you will study, for example, why WhatsApp is more popular than Telegram. Okay, why is it? While both are, text messaging, they give you almost the same, what we call it, services. There are then other business, what we call it, relationships that we can look at. For example, who owns WhatsApp? Okay, who owns WhatsApp? Facebook owns.
Yes,
Facebook,
Madam.
right?
So,
Facebook.
Okay, so Facebook owns WhatsApp. So there's this other part of businesses that helps these new businesses. Can you follow? All right, but of course, something that is new is very attractive, and I think the people have been trained to like things that are new. Okay, all right. Any questions? Any other questions? Thank you, Abbas.
Madam,
Yes,
I have one question.
yes,
Do you ever use Lazada?
yes, of course.
Okay, now I noticed this one, maybe data management. Like, okay, for example, I was looking for something on the internet, and then I got impressed the product, and then after that I decided not to buy the product. And then I opened to Google. Every time when I want to do my work, the same advertisement, the same product will always show in my page, as if they are convincing me to buy. Is that one example of data management? Good data
Yes,
management?
very good. Yes, that is data management. And next week we will learn Web 3.0, and we talk about data management and artificial intelligence, okay, where all of us have digital footprint that once you go to one site, they will keep your information. Okay, and that information will be used against you until you buy the product, for example.
Okay.
All right, so this is also sometimes is a privacy issue because they sell information with each other. All right, and it goes beyond just about selling products. It goes to like how they influence people to vote. That's why in the last American election, there was questionable issues because Donald Trump used companies that are able to collect data about people and influence people to vote. Okay?
Okay.
That's why data is very, very powerful. And that's why, which company is the biggest internet company in the world?
Google.
It's not Google.
Amazon.
Amazon is the biggest company, not Google. We would like to think Google. Why Amazon? Because Amazon has businesses other than what we see. Their main business is database management. They offer what we call it, security space to save clouds. You know, they sell clouds to people, so they get access to a lot of that data. So that's why Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world right now. Okay, no longer, what's his name? The Microsoft guy, no longer him. All right.
Oh, it's Elon Musk now.
Who? Elon Musk. Elon Musk competing with Jeff Bezos, but Elon Musk is, I don't know, not so stable.
Madam,
Yes.
do you have the Google Classroom's link?
Google Classroom link. Of course, I have it. Everyone has it.
I am not enrolled in the Google Classroom yet.
Okay, I will share it here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You can click and go straight, yeah? Any other questions? Okay, if there is no question, we end the class today with Tasbih, Kafarah, and Walas. Okay, thank you everybody. See you next week.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Adam. Assalamualaikum.